What's up,
We live.
boys?
Back
We're
to
live
crappie fishing,
again.
folks.
We're talking about crappie fishing tonight again.
That's right.
Welcome to today's bite. This is March 17th, 2026. And right here on the res, we're kicking off the spawn. Told you guys last week that spawn was going on. And guess what hit us this morning? 20 to
For
6 degree cold front.
yeah, zap. Hey, you just got what we got, buddy. It has been nasty the last couple days. So tomorrow is going to be pretty interesting to see what the fish have done after all this is hit. It was just getting good, Brad. It was just getting good. Man,
Man,
makes
that's
you sick. Welcome to
uh,
springtime crappie fishing.
I had a couple guys today. They fished with me. They were from Iowa. Excuse me, Iowa. They come down, and you get somebody drive that far. You want to go fishing, and we fished, and we froze to death first thing this morning. Stiff
I guarantee it.
north wind, and of course, the wind forecast. They first time ever probably they missed the wind direction a little bit. They kind of called for a northwest wind, so I had kind of plans of where I could fish with a northwest, and guess where it blew?
Of course, probably total.
Northeast.
Yeah, yeah.
Blew us out of the water. So that kind of happens. We had to make some adjustments, and we got on fish around lunchtime, and the fish really, you know, I think they're a little more lethargic this morning, and I think they sunk down in the mud some. But midday they kind of come alive and started biting pretty well.
I
So
think that's
that's
what
kind
we're
of
running
my
into.
week's going. Now the rest of the
Yeah.
week looks great for us, but
Oh, it does too here. My goodness, beautiful. It gets you excited, but I hope them fish. You know what I've learned, Brad? I've got this theory
mhm.
that even though the warm weather hits and that water heats up like this, they still hold off when it's time. I think that it got me more excited than it did the fish, and they just know how this program works and they know how it goes. But I guess I was expecting for a lot better fishing with all the warm weather we just had, and it
Mhm.
just was not doing it. Uh, and we had that water come up, but there was just so many shad and trash fish from the top of the screen to the bottom, and that can be so frustrating to fish. But catching like a decent amount is not what it normally is this time of year. Gosh, I hope
Mhm.
it changes soon where there's just a lot of fish on the screen and you can get them going. They were starting, just like you said, though, like 11, 12, noon, 1. They really start picking up like that until dark. They really start firing up and they'll
Yeah.
see a bait better and really start hitting it. I think it's due to warming up. I think they're chilly in the morning, lethargic, kind of got that wintertime bite going, and then they kind of turn it up a little bit. But gosh, it's been a little bit of a struggle. I ain't gonna lie. It's definitely
Mhm.
not what I normally am doing this time of year. With the circumstances, warm weather, good weather. Can't complain about it much until uh, yesterday. But yeah, we got down in gosh, we were in the teens. We got real cold.
Mm.
Yeah, it got brutal, brutal. Very windy
Well,
too.
yeah, appreciate everybody. You guys are killing it tonight. 25K Crappie Connection is going on strong. YouTube and also Facebook. Everybody, thank you for doing that. It means a lot to us. We've got a goal tonight to hit as well. We're going to hit 350 likes, but we need every single person that watches to hit that thumbs up and that like button for us. And we're gonna get to our goals, and that's what we got tonight. We got a goal of 350 likes, so we need some help, guys. Make sure you hit that. We're gonna talk about this cold front because that was last week for us. We had, warm. I even got to wear shorts. And
Oh
I was like,
yeah,
man, this
yeah.
is this is great. Life's
I
great.
had
It was a little
sunscreen on my
windy.
mind. I was thinking of sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Yeah, it's that time. Oh man.
It was just life was great. The only thing we had, and I see Greg Hartzall, he said, how's the pollen on the res? The pollen was probably the worst thing besides the wind last week. We had pollen all over the lake. My sinuses was killing
Yeah.
me. I had a head
Oh yeah.
cold, the whole 9 yards. So pollen was terrible. We had a lot of rain last, so it's kind of washed it away at the moment anyway. So we had to deal with pollen, and I think I even mentioned it last week. And I kind of had to choose different color palettes, and I want to know if anybody else has looked at color palettes when it comes to pollen in the water. I kind of figured out one that helped me out some with it that we'll talk about tonight. Got some questions, guys? Shoot us with us. Shoot it out and let us know how you're doing on the lake. There's Brad Moss right there from Iowa. He's the guy that fished with me today. He'll tell you. Uh, it was chilly, and these boys from Iowa, they're
Yeah, they wasn't
professionals when
scared
it
of it.
comes to
They
cold.
wasn't yeah, they weren't scared. No.
So It's gonna be it's gonna be all right. The rest of the week looks great though here.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we got some really beautiful weather coming too. We've even got this is gonna be a good test because we've got a week. It looks like it's gonna be in the 50s and 60s at night too, and then the mid 80s during the day,
Mhm.
and that should fire things up so fast. I think 2 days of that should just zap fish into really firing off. So we'll see and showing up. I'll know a lot more by tomorrow, but
We're gonna see the
we will.
reports. I don't think anybody hit it on the head as far as the weights at Grenada this past
Yeah,
weekend.
we were a little
We
high, Brad. We were a little high, wasn't we?
we're a little high. We had high
Yeah,
expectations,
yeah, we
but
did. We did.
it kind of happens. But what I think,
Mother
and
Nature, though, that water rose 3 foot, I think, very fast out there.
yeah,
They
I
got a lot
mean,
of rain,
it's
stuff
pretty
scattered
tough,
out.
I'm sure.
Mhm.
Mr. Charles, he sent me, he said last week's weight one it was 30.21. So if you commented that during before the tournament happened, let us know. I don't think anybody hit it though. 30.21 was the winner last week, and we're gonna keep doing this until somebody wins this
Someone's
thing.
gonna win it, and it's gonna be a heck of a goodie bag. Someone's gonna
Absolutely.
win it. You bet.
Keep these questions coming, and we're going to talk about any kind of questions that you got tonight, and also we want to hear you guys' fish reports. How are you adjusting to this cold front and also pollen? Pollen's a big thing. Dustin, does pollen ever become an issue there for you?
You know, Gosh, not really. I've not really noticed it if it has. You say your
You would
screen
notice
really
it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You say your screen really gets filled up with that stuff, real staticky. I don't notice it
Mhm.
as bad, but I was gonna ask you on your color palette if you use black emerald, if that helps you by chance.
I've tried it. It wasn't
It
my
does.
pick.
Okay. I was gonna say because I'm always on black emerald, so maybe that's why I don't notice it. Maybe other colors notice it more. But
Hmm.
I don't, normally, I mean, I definitely you'll see the pollen sometimes. You'll see it on your trucks. You'll be on your. But as far as the lake, I don't get it as bad on the live scope. I think
Well,
you
you're
guys
very
must have
lucky.
different greenery out there where it gets a little thicker.
And it's usually the pine trees. These big pine trees
Yeah, yeah.
just
See, we don't
shoot
have.
off.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of those. So
And for me, and I'll go ahead and spill the beans, but I'd like to know if anybody else has used it, especially during the pollen. You might like it already, but lava seems to do real
really,
well for
that's
me
great.
last week.
That's a good
And
little
that was just
tidbit.
from cycling through color palettes, but lava seemed to do the best for me. What about you guys? I would
Yeah,
love to know
yeah.
if
That's
you
a
got a
good little.
particular color
Good little tip.
palette.
That's
Mine
thinking
was
outside the
lava.
box. That's thinking outside the box. Let's change the color, see if it makes a difference.
It
That's
helped. We
pretty cool.
changed some different things, but Dustin Shields said, "Turn for true pollen, reject to high. No, always reject to high. That's what he seems to do to help out with it. That's
Show you
great."
the two. Yeah.
Sasquatch said, "Smash of the day in Louisiana. One, our male fish are pushing to the banks, and the females are ready to move on the next lunar phase." And
See, he seems to be on phases instead of water temperature as well.
mm-hmm.
Sounds like that to me. What do you guys think? You guys think that fish are spawning because of water temperature or time of day and phases, moon phases? I would like to know. It's always been a good topic. Is it water temperature? Is it time of days? It seems like, Brad, I don't know about you, but it seems like every year they find a way to do the same 2 weeks every
Yeah,
year. Even if we have super warm or super cold weather, it ends up happening at the same time. It seems like to me in the same time frame, couple week time
I
frame.
agree.
Now you know as well as I do though that it lasts a lot longer than people think it does, and it starts a lot earlier than people think. But the
I agree.
majority, the 80%, is always in that certain time frame. Thank
That's kind of for me is the first after the first week in March, that would put it around the 7th or 8th. It kind of
you. Yeah,
starts. You can start
in the
seeing
air.
fish really thinking about spawning to say. And then for me, it's going to run all through March, all through April, and then it's going to start tapering off through May. You still see some, spawning fish through May for us, but it's going to be on what, Dustin? What have I preached
Oh, it'd
and
be on them
spread?
breeder stumps. It'll
On
be
them
on some
breeder
structure.
stumps in May is going to be
Yeah,
the key.
you bet.
Um,
I get real jealous that time of year when you get to sending me pictures of them
mhm,
breeder stumps. If I was booking a
absolutely.
trip with Brad, I'd say, you holler when those breeder stumps are hot and I'm coming.
Yeah, that's what I kind of feel like happens for us anyway. Is it kind of staggers about, and even today, I mean, we're catching probably about 8 to 10 females per male fish, and you're thinking, well, how can you definitely tell? Well, once you put them in a
Exactly.
live well right now, they start turning.
Yep. So
Their
yours are coloring
coloration
up.
comes on.
Yours are
Yeah,
coloring up good.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially
See,
when you throw them in a live well.
ours isn't doing that yet, but I will say we're catching 90% females. So that tells you the males have
Hmm.
moved up for sure. They're up
Hmm.
shallower and playing around. So, but they're not coloring up quite yet. But that's when you know it's in the air hard, is when they're getting dark in that live well.
Lisa, she says, thanks for you two. I'm going to fish my first crappie tournament in 2 weeks. I plan on free fishing this weekend. On the water temperature is around 45 and I expected it to get warmer by the time of the tournament. I was going to start off long lining the creek channels and live scoping as I go along. What do you guys think of this plan? I
Sounds
think
like a heck of a
you
plan to me.
covering water,
Yeah,
absolutely. Until you can eliminate things, just keep going down that lineup, eliminating and putting those little keys together, and you'll
exactly.
do fine in it, I'm
I
sure.
think I think if you start long lining and you're seeing the fish and not catching them, maybe try to put that bait right on top of their heads. With 45-degree water temperature, you're gonna be a little cold still, I feel like. So I'd be just in case if they weren't fired up wanting to chase the bait,
Mhm.
be ready to drop that bait on their head with a long rod too.
Josh, he said, finally caught a live during the live. Josh, we're so glad you finally caught us here on YouTube and you got it on live. So definitely appreciate you chiming in. And also, guys, first time watchers, let us know. Hey, this is first time watching today's bite on Tuesday night live with you guys, and let us know where you're from. It's always so interesting for me,
Oh yeah,
and
it
also
is.
Dustin to know where everybody's coming from and joining us on these today's bites. So especially new guys, would love to hear from where you're at and what's your home lake. And if you got any questions, hey, shoot them out there.
Yep, I
Um,
appreciate you guys very much as well. It seems like most people are in with the length of the day now, longer the hour of the day and
mhm.
moon phase, just like the rut and whitetails. Roy Brown says that makes sense too. Even hunting whitetails, the rut always kind of happens at the same time, whether it's hot, cold, whatever kind of crazy weather we got going
Yep.
on. So it's a good point.
Um, Gregory's asking, he says, Brad, do you use fast naps when spider rigging or long lining? I do not. I can see the benefits spider rigging if you needed to change around your, say, your Caps and Coleman rigs to a heavier weights or adjusting the weight so you wouldn't have to retie that whole setup and you had them pre-tied. Typically, if I've got a setup in mind, um, whether it's spider rigging or long lining, long lining, I just cut them and retie them. Overhand loop knots are pretty fast, especially once you do a couple thousand. It becomes pretty fast on time on the line. So I never used them. Definitely long lining. I can see the benefit on the spider rigging part, though. Great, great question, though.
Oh yeah. Roy Brown says he's making his first trip to Mississippi this weekend, fishing with Tim Howe. Can't wait to catch some of them giant Mississippi crappie. Well, Roy,
Absolutely.
first of all, yeah, good luck on that trip. That'll be a very fun.
Oh, I don't know what happened to Dustin. You'll have a great time with Tim. I'm sure you've seen him on Today's Bite and also different podcasts that we've had with Tim through the years. Great guy, great fisherman. So I'm sure you'll have a great time up there fishing with him in Long Branch. Um, Mr. Dixon, let me put Dustin back here. We'll see, get him back on board.
Anyways, Roy, good luck out there, and hopefully you get some good weather as well, because that's all Mississippi boils down to, really. Is if you can get a light wind day, you're gonna have
Light
a good day
winds.
on crappie. Yeah.
I love those light wind days, huh?
Oh yeah. It's a rare occurrence in the spring, though.
Marcavis said he fished Okeechobee Saturday, caught 30 in 8 foot of water
Man,
and some chicken nuggets too. Maybe that would be chicken nuggets too. And
maybe that's
huh,
what he had for lunch.
maybe. Let's see. Corey Dixon says a bite was on this evening on Darbone, 25 foot of water. I'm sure those fish are kind of like our fish over here. Darbone and Res is really similar. Probably can catch them in 25 foot of water. Probably catch them in 3 foot of water.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel our fish are kind of spread out in the whole lake right now. But my best area to kind of throw out my today's bite on to it, besides the cold front, was I backed off of into some little bit deeper water today from 12 to 18. I started spotting more fish, especially the bigger fish were out in that deeper water. And really, 15 to 18 was probably my key for the bigger
Kind
fish
of
that we caught today.
moved out a little bit, didn't they?
Moved out a little bit.
That's what I'm afraid my fish will probably be doing. Um, Norman Cantrelli said just got back from Truman Lake right before the storm. Found some fish on timber and found several in stake beds. Coming to Sardis next week, northern Arkansas. Truman
Hmm.
Lake seemed to be like the bite is starting to get really good. I've noticed a lot more fish on structure this time of year than I have in a long
Hmm.
time. I don't know what that is all about. Maybe because of the current with our rain that we got, but we're about back down to normal pool, so we'll see.
Let's see. Zachary says slow and light bite for me on the Arkansas River over the weekend. Caught four on the Edie Bit Slab Hunter, double silver rainbow, great color. I don't have forward facing sonar, so I'm not sure if I ever found the right color or it was on the fish. I
Oh, you
definitely
found
never
the right.
figured it out though.
Yeah, you found the right color, buddy. I can tell you that. Well, both. Both have to come into play there.
I will take it.
Jacob Waterman and Trey Garza there wondering about the Grenada tournament this past weekend. It sounded like they did pretty well for the circumstances. I think the water came up,
Yeah.
the fish kind of scattered out. They had a little wind, but uh, Jacob, I think they hammered them pretty good. There was a 16-pound bag the second day, I
Wow.
believe, 16-pound bag. So yeah, it was a heck of a tournament. I think a 381 was big fish, and Trey Garza. I don't think anyone won the guess the weight. What was exactly the winning weight, Brad? 30.
30.21, I think it
Yeah,
was.
30.21.
30.21.
So you can look back in the
Um,
comments, but I don't believe Brad scanned through it briefly and couldn't find any 32 ones. So
30.21. And I don't think, and I could be wrong. There was a lot of comments. So if you hit it, hey, let me know. We'll
we
verify it and
guessed
we'll
big
get you
fish
something out.
too. We guessed big fish too. I forget, but gosh, I think I had like 390 something. So I was close, but a little too high.
Oh, let's see. Donald, did you see Donald's report? He
I
says,
did not.
Northern Ohio report. Small inland lakes were high 40s, low 50s water temps. On the nicer days, fish were suspended, up sunning in 2 to 6 foot of water, down over in 20 to 12 foot of water. Colder days, you got to pick them off the bottom in that 12 foot range. A 1/16 ounce hair jig under a 3/8 peg weight, pitching and dropping on them next warm date will be epic. You know, we're all waiting for those nice epic days to come along. I know I'm waiting for those light wind days to come along. I don't know about you guys, but this wind, ugh, there's Dustin.
I think this wind is what's throwing me off here or something, Brad. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on tonight, but it's one of them nights.
No, we gotta work through it, just like
Oh
pollen or
yeah,
wind. We're just
exactly,
gonna have to work
exactly.
through it.
Mike Scott fished a tournament on Lake Talquin. Did we get that one yet?
No.
Okay, fished a tournament on Lake Talquin this past Saturday. It was a tough, tough bite. 3 days of pre-fishing. He only caught 12 fish. Found them tournament morning, 4 to 8 foot of water on structure. He was long poling and casting a 32-ounce hair jig or 32nd ounce hair jig, tipped with a red minnow. Finished second and missed first by 2/10. That's
Ooh,
fishing. Mike, it looks like you found a little better pattern than most, so congratulations there. Lake Talcon, I've never been there, but it sounds like it can be a tricky one.
it's
Being that
always been on
shallow.
my hit list.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think I'd go to the river first. What's it called?
St. John's.
Yes, St. John's is where I'd probably really want to go. And
Talkin's
then,
right up there on the hit list, though, for sure
oh
for
yeah,
me.
yeah, we got a lot of fishing reports. Appreciate you guys letting us all know where the fish are at and what they're doing. I'm glad there's people out there catching them good. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Eric Berge, he said, "Evening, guys. Crazy weather up here in Illinois. Went from 80s a few days ago to a low of 11 last night. Sounds just like what we got hit with. The bite has been good, but the weather is making it challenging. Headed down to Lake Fork Saturday to pre-fish for the Crappie Fest. Any tips would be appreciated." Well, Eric, I know we got a lot of Lake Fork fishermen on here, so hopefully someone can chime in a
Absolutely.
little bit for sure. I fished that lake two days or 3 days, and it's amazing. I honestly there's not a lot of places you can't stop in Lake Fork and not catch some fish somewhere. So usually it's a pretty special lake. You'll be excited. It'll be a change of pace for you from going from Illinois to Lake Fork. That'll be exciting. But yeah, there's a few Lake Fork fishermen. Maybe someone will give a little Lake Fork fishing report on here. I
Absolutely.
forgot all about that tournament. It's coming up this weekend coming up?
I think now that just I don't know what happened to Dustin again. He asked a question, so let me see if I can find it for him. Let's see. It may be this weekend. I'm sure you'll see it on social media too, but might be sure it's coming this weekend. Let us guys know for sure. We'll have to do some predictions on that tournament.
Gosh
Let's
dang.
see.
I don't know, Brad. I'm sorry, buddy. Did you figure out when Crappie Fest was?
I believe it is this coming weekend. I
Okay,
believe it is.
gotcha. Wow. Okay. Well, by golly, it is here fast.
Crappie Hound said cold front shut down the bite. Once the temps are stabilized, how long before they bite again? 3 days? You know, for
That's.
me, these fish bit after lunch. We
I
had
was gonna say it could be
it
3
started to
hours.
warm up. It could be 3 hours. Typically,
Yeah.
I like 3 days of something stable. But the fish seemed to bite pretty well today. They would see the bait, and come right up to it. And I located fish that were on the bottom. They really didn't want to do anything. The ones that were laying on the bottom, fish on structure really didn't want to do anything. But if I could find them suspended off the bottom, a foot to 2 foot off the bottom, those were the ones that were biting for me.
That's crazy.
But the ones that were laying on bottom, you might as well just keep on rolling. And the ones on structure, they didn't want to play
So
around either.
did you find some fish on structure too?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. You know, sometimes when we get hit with cold fronts this time of year, if it's not dramatic like this one was, if your water's already a certain temperature, it's kind of hard to push back enough to mess with them at all. But when you're getting
Yep.
into that half, like 50 degrees, it can jump to 45. It can really zap them or jump to 55. But when you get up like 58 degrees, 60 degrees, usually a little cold front for a couple days doesn't push them as bad as it would if it was a little cooler. It seems like.
Hmm. Let's see. Lisa's asking advantages or disadvantages of trolling jigs versus lures, and I'm sure Lisa's talking about crankbaits as far as the lures or things go. For me, the jigs, that single hook, and it sounds crazy, but I don't lose as many fish off of jigs versus crankbaits. Uh, I don't know if it's just how they're able to toss around that bait and it comes unlodged or what have you, but I don't seem to lose as many fish off of jigs compared to different lures.
A little tidbit there. Tracy Brooks said he caught 10 to 15 on Lake Martin. My first time fishing for crappie there. Shows and podcasts like this really speed up the learning curve. Well, Tracy,
Yep.
I appreciate it. That is definitely the goal. It's kind of cool to share what we know about it and then hear from you guys from catching them. It's kind of a pretty cool deal because we all
Mhm.
know how much does go into it. We all been there and done that before at the same time. So, uh, it's just nice to speed up the learning curve and not have to spend several days and hours to learn all that.
Jacob, did the hammerfish Grenada the tournament? I don't think he did. But also, do we know what arm or section of the lake the winning weight come from?
Another
I
good
do
question.
not know that. Alex Hall won it. Met Alex several times through the years at Grizzly Jig. Super good fisherman. He's won a lot of crappie tournaments, and he's a guide up there in Grenada too. So he's a stick. Everybody
Oh
knows
yeah,
that. I won it.
yeah. I'm man. I don't know. That what I heard before the rain they got, there wasn't really an arm to fish. There was just barely water on either side. You just had to cover a lot of water. But I'm not
Yeah.
sure which arm won it. Willie Knighton went to Lake Greason, I believe, or Gresson this weekend. It was the first time to crappie fish this lake. A friend and I caught 25 in the ice chest and caught them on top of using blue ice. Oh, on tops using blue ice. So tops are brush piles here. I've taken
Hmm.
people that call them tops. I've learned. So a top is a brush pile.
Yep, I
just
agree.
like just like a pillar is a dock for you guys. Brandon
um,
Thomas said a mess of morels and a mess of crappie is what I'm after this weekend.
Ooh,
Golly, now that is living. And he's around my area too, but I heard the morel mushrooms are starting to pop a little bit. So I bet a week of
never
80
had them.
degrees. Oh my goodness, Brad, that's worse than not having turnip greens,
Never
buddy.
had them at all.
Oh my goodness. You've never had fried wild turkey and morel mushrooms? Oh
Not
my
not
goodness. You
not the
you
morel
ain't
mushrooms.
now that I'm saying together, okay, in the same if you had oh my goodness, that's way worse than the turnip green thing,
Never,
Brad. Never
never.
had
It's
morel
not. I
mushroom.
would. We don't have them like
Right.
that here.
You'd eat them. Yeah, you don't.
No,
Huh. I'll be dang. You wait till
no.
some people figure out Brad ain't tried morel mushrooms.
A buddy of mine that we're going to Illinois. He turkey hunting in April. He's real good about picking those. I guess
So
you'd
he's
call
in.
it picking them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Picking them. Yeah.
He seems to always pick them, and he's always promised. So, Michael Hanfelder, the pressure's on you to have me some morel
Oh,
mushrooms
that'd
when
be
we come turkey
great.
hunting.
Oh my gosh. I'm
Mhm.
telling you, that's living. When you're out on the porch and that sizzling is going on in the grease and you're sitting there overlooking the springtime weather and you may or may not have a cold one in your hand and you get a morel mushroom and a turkey breast, a sliver of a turkey breast. Oh my goodness, that is living. That's living.
I hadn't lived yet.
Yeah, I know. You know, if you had turnip greens on that plate too, I bet it'd be awful good.
I agree.
I didn't say it was
Tate, he
healthy.
said, uh, Tate, I spent the first week of March at Grenada. We battled the wind for 3 days. Caught some good fish, but not any 3 pounds we were looking for. She said we should have went to Sardis. It's been on fire. Sardis has been good, but I can't blame a man for trying to hit that 3 pounds at Grenada either.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, Sardis has
Okay.
some 3 pounders too, it's seeming like.
Yeah, Mike Neese said started using tungsten weights this year. Love them, but dang, they're high. Man, that is the truth.
Oh yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
reason I don't use them every day.
But I don't know about you. It ain't any higher than the gas tank, I'm telling you. Woo
No, no,
wee. Let's not
we
start
don't
on
want to
that
get
now.
depressed. Yeah, we don't want to open
Yeah.
that can of worms.
Let's start talking about expensive around here. Jordan
Uh,
Taylor, he says Reelfoot is on fire. Cold or hot, they've been biting. Shallow water, it's about that time. That sounds like a fun bite right there. I need my lake to turn into that.
oh, to see. I just had one.
It was the Schooner arm, Brad, that 16-pound
Schooner arm.
stringer
Okay.
on Saturday was come from.
I don't doubt that. I love the schooner arm. That's my
Yeah.
favorite.
I'm not surprised that is also my favorite. Maybe because Brad said that was his favorite and I went and it is my favorite too.
Now, what's your favorite? There, Dustin got kicked off, but we'll be back with him in a second. It's Jason Jackson. What about pond fishing video from both of you guys? Would like to see that. I would love to fish some ponds that had crappie. I don't have any access around here to a pond that has crappie fishing, but I would love to do it more.
We'll see if I can set a new record of getting kicked off of this show
I think
this many
so.
times. Richard Crawford said, nothing like fried morel mushrooms and a side of ticks, order of ticks. You definitely got to fight the ticks off. You know,
Mm.
there's some ways though. There's this spray. It's called Sawyer, and it is the most legit tick spray. Here's your guys' tidbit of the spring for turkey
Huh.
hunting and morel mushroom hunting. It's called Sawyer spray. It's a yellow spray bottle, and you spray that on your clothes. It's good for like 10 washes after you spray it on your clothes. Hang it outside. You're not supposed to like get it on your skin because it's
I've
got
never
that
heard of
good.
it.
It's got. Have you really not?
No.
So do you have tick problems pretty good
Oh
out
yeah.
there?
I got
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain spotted fever once.
Oh man. Yeah, so and man, I've had a couple ticks on me already this year. But if you spray that Sawyer on your clothes, Brad, mark my words, that's the very best stuff on the market. I've tried everything. But like I said, you're not supposed to get it
Mm.
around your animals and your skin, but I've sprayed it right on my skin before, so I'm still alive. It's got that
Um,
what is it called? Permethrin or whatever. So it's
Pyrethrin.
yeah, something, but it's serious. Sawyer spray, Brad. Do not forget that. That's as good as the spray for them biting flies you
Uh-oh.
got. What is it? Amber Romance. How did I remember that?
Miss.
It's been a while.
Ken Robinson knows about it.
Yes, he
Um,
does.
Mitch Ward, he says, "Have y'all wade fished and did you like it?" Dustin, have you ever waded? I have.
Not necessarily. No, I haven't wade fish. I've seen people doing it. It looked so fun doing the wade fishing. I want to try it around here, around home. Everybody thinks that wade fishing is only around structure or stump lakes, but I think you could do really well even on Grand Lake when they're spawning because they're 2 foot deep to 6 foot deep. So you could wade out there and whack them in the grass and little laydowns and stuff too.
Hmm. For me,
Wonder.
I have wade fishing, and it can be extremely fun if you're in the right place. But the thing that I've learned a couple from podcasts with like John Harrison up in Grenada and such, one is you always slide your feet forward before you step because you will find a hole. Actually, and I've had to replace the iPhone from it, so
Oh
that's from
man,
experience
that's
for
funny.
having in your waders in the front pocket.
Oh
So
yeah.
and always wear a belt around your waist to keep the water from going all
Hmm.
the way down your pants or your waders. But yeah, it can be really fun,
Yeah, I
but it can be
imagine.
kind of tricky too.
Oh, let's see. Bo. I'm gonna just go with Bo because I'm not sure with the last name, but he said hello from Central Texas. Bo,
Absolutely.
appreciate you getting on here. He said 31 degrees this morning. Everybody had a chilly outing the last couple days for sure.
I think it was around 26 here this morning and a pretty stiff wind, north wind.
Oh yeah, the wind's what makes that the worst. I'm telling you,
Mm.
wind is everything. Cody Kuntzman, he said High Rock and Baden or Baden has been tough for me for some reason. Headed out with Chris Miller on Saturday to finally, hopefully, turn my luck around. Well, good luck Saturday. Everybody ought to be fishing this Saturday. We have got some beautiful weather lined up. So I think a
Hmm.
lot of crappie are going to get smoked this weekend, really, if I had to guess. Steve
Um,
Tolson, he said Dustin redeemed himself. Doesn't know turnip greens, but gave a great description of morel mushrooms. Great show as always. I appreciate it, Steve. Listen, Steve, I'm not a rabbit, but if it comes to good meat, good meat, and some mushrooms, you can count me in, buddy.
right now, guys, we're at 255 likes, so we got about 100 more likes to go. We're gonna need some help to hit that mark tonight. We got another 30 minutes. We could hit more than that if we got to double from that point forward. So definitely take the time to hit that like button for you guys. It means more than you even know. Another thing that I wanted to mention, and we try to mention every week, LureNet is a part of Bobby Garland Baits. So if you want to try out some Bobby Garlands that we're going to talk about and have talked about through the past, look up lurenet.com and use your discount code Crappie Connection 15 is 15% off everything on that site. So take advantage of that, guys, especially when you're looking for some baits. Can't go wrong with the BG.
No.
Cowboy Pillow got a report from Sardis. He said this past Saturday on Sardis was horrible. Fish structure, open water, come up with nothing. Guys with live scope were even having a hard time. Water temp 58 to 59.
Still.
Saturday was a beautiful day too, and I'm sure a lot of
Mhm.
people was out on the lake trying to hit them. But Saturday was beautiful, and it's just like that some days. It's you're not gonna get them every day.
Exactly. Mike Martin said, I don't turkey hunt, but have seen more and heard more gobbles this year than ever. Went squirrel hunting before
Hmm.
season closed and heard at least 6 or 7 gobbling. I even heard them from my back porch. It's crazy. Well, Mike, we're friends. You didn't know this, but we're good buddies. And you just let me know. Let me know where them turkeys are gobbling, buddy.
March
I'll, I
28th
will.
is Crappie
I will
Fest.
not hurt your squirrels.
Yeah, I won't hurt your squirrel either. Uh, John Lee,
Yeah, and
John's
it's like a
crappie
3 day
guides.
tournament.
He said Eagle Lake seems like 10 to 15 foot of water is the best bite still. I know John was over this weekend at Eagle Lake, so it's good to hear.
Dustin Shields wants to know, Brad, does Crappie Connection 15 code work on the hoodies? It might
Sure,
work. It might work on the Bobby
sure.
Garland hoodies. It might work on the Bobby Garland hoodies with Lurenet. It may.
Dustin, you need
I,
to
I bet it would.
give me a shout next time you're around the res.
Is there any tournaments on the res this year? I'm sure there is.
Yeah, Magnolia has one coming up in I believe it's April.
There we go. Let's see.
Oh, here's a good. What's the best color in muddy water?
Gosh. When someone says muddy water, I think of mud dauber, Grenada gold, and double silver rainbow. And I've got one of them right here. That was my bait of the week. But
There you go.
on a sunny day, double silver rainbow is a cold blooded killer. Oh, and you bet, little
Oh
outlaw
yeah.
action. So both those are really good. We're going with vibrant strong colors. Also, I like that flake when it's sunny because they just gives a little extra for sure. Like all those,
I
I
agree.
would use on Grenada, and I think would do really really well. Another one is
They
uh,
would.
Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread is a good color too. I like to use.
And you think of that color, and for me, you think of muddy water. I think of bright colors and dark colors,
Hmm.
blacks,
It's all
browns,
contrast, I guess.
oranges,
Hmm.
and then you throw in a mix every now and then by throwing a Wonder Bread, a white out
Yeah,
there.
something they see different. Yeah, yeah.
You just never know what could be it. And Mr. Charles, he said, "What was a hot color today, Brad?" And I cycled through some baits, and I'm gonna go even off last week, but orange horsefly, itty bit, the itty bit
Oh yeah.
horsefly, and the slab
Hmm.
hunter is gonna be my bait of the week, color of the week to say, and we'll see what the rest of the week holds. But I'm planning on doing some long lining this week. Even I seen the fish last week, and I thought the bite had turned on enough that those fish we could probably start long lining and doing well. This cold front kind of slapped them back a little bit, but
What's your water temp today, Brad?
it
Got to ask
started out
that.
this morning around 58 to
Gotcha. So not too
59.
bad. It's
Well, it
still
dropped
aggressive.
about 10 degrees.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it
Wow, I don't
dropped
even want to see
quick.
my water now. You making me sick.
It dropped quick. James is saying, let's see, I gotta. He says, "Do you ever guys get stress pains on your hands or fingers from the rod handle and spinning reel stem? For most guys, comfort. Where do you arrange your fingers at the reel stem when casting?" Okay, I'm glad you clarified that because if you're
Yeah, I
saying
think you
long
were
rod,
thinking
I use
long riding. Yeah. That's
long rods. I use bait casters. Casting, you know, I, I'm gonna use it typically in between the set of fingers when I'm casting the stem of the reel
yeah. Yeah, but
below.
I don't ever get pains on that. So I don't know what.
I get pains everywhere else.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Sitting on that seat, standing all day on the boat with the
Yeah.
waves. Oh, I feel like I've been ran over. But as far as the rod and holding it, I don't get the pains. So you may check in and see what's going on with that. Sometimes you get the whatever it's called, carpal tunnel or something where it gets
Right
pa-
here.
painful where your hands when they get stuck on a certain way. That you may have something like that going on. That would be tough.
Philip Yates, he says, "I'm going to Sardis the first week of April. What should I expect? How will the crappie be settling up?" I think they're going to be definitely some fish spawning in April. Definitely on Sardis. And it kind of depends on, what do you want to do? You can definitely catch them live scoping. And if the water's just not really dingy, long lining in April's a great month to pull up there. Spider rigging's always been famous as far as being catching a lot of fish at Sardis. For me, I'm gonna say Clear Creek area is always a good standby starting point, and moving east from Clear Creek for me has always been really good. Holiday
Whatever he just
Lodge.
said, whatever he just said about Sardis guys, you can take to the bank. So go to Clear Creek and wherever lodge he just said and go fish at.
Yeah,
I'd start there for sure.
yeah, that would be my starting points at Sardis. Though, let's see. Gators player, he says, trolled with a wife on Lake Okatee till noon. Didn't catch fish. Broke out live scope. Cast it to him. Caught 35. She caught about 10 with some casting help. Black and chartreuse. All the females. Oh, that's great. Sounds like a great report.
Oh yeah.
Let's see on down. I'm trying to catch up with comments, guys.
Um,
313 likes. So we're getting there, boys. Thank you.
oh yeah. Appreciate you guys. Mike Scott wants to know, Brad, why do you prefer bait casting reels over spinning? It's a very good question. I also prefer bait casting reels on sniping fish as well. But
Yep.
Brad, I'd love to hear your intake of why you pick one over the other.
Yeah. For long rods, a lot of times, especially, well, all the time now since we've got live scope, it seems I'm adjusting the depth a lot on my rods,
Exactly.
and just being able to push the button with your thumb
Let it
and
roll.
then letting that rod down, letting out more line, and then coming back instead of having to flip over a bale. It just seems to keep your hand on the pole compared to actually moving it around more. So your
Yeah.
contact with the pole is more consistent.
Yeah, I will say the same. And there's so many pros and cons of both. And I have both in the boat just in case someone's really uncomfortable with the bait caster action. And if we're fishing really shallow, it doesn't matter as much. You can use an open face because you don't have to reel. You're more like just cane pulling. But what the bait caster does really nice is also when your clients, when you have a big weight on top and a little weight on bottom, when you're dropping it, it's hard with an open face to have the clients drop their bait and not drop it too fast where it all gets
Smooth.
tangled. So when you use your bait caster, you can set your settings on that and take it out of everybody's hands of you push the button and just let it go and it will fall nice and smooth and slow. So you don't have those baits tangled up. Everything will just fall smoothly. And that's a big deal when you're fishing 15 to 20 foot deep. That's another big deal on the bait caster.
Yeah, Mike Mark, we need to know where you live at, bro. I think you might be a Mississippi guy. Let's see. Jay Carr said he said they're still stuck on the bottom on Eagle Lake. I think they're still stuck, and even like me last week, I thought a lot of those fish stayed on the bottom a lot, and I think it was kind of the scenario that we're talking about today. The water jumped up in temperature really fast and made those fish kind of settle on the bottom. That's probably the most stable uh, temperature in the lake is going to be near the bottom. Same thing today. Drastic water change going back down. So those fish are staying on bottom a lot. You start seeing some of them come up as the water rose up today, but starting off this morning, every one of them was pretty much on the bottom.
When you say that, Brad, do you think you're not seeing a lot of them on the bottom too? Or
Absolutely.
okay. That's
Yeah.
kind of the program I'm thinking. The fish are here. We just don't see them. Like I
hmm
think a lot of that's going on right now.
Uh, Stewart, he said, taking all the bananas off my boat, luck will change this. Absolutely, it will change it.
Absolutely, you bet it will.
Absolutely, 100
That's the
percent will
biggest
change
thing
it.
this year is all clients getting in my boat with a cooler. I will be asking first if they have bananas in the boat. And if they do, then we can't get along. We're gonna have to sit on the dock, eat the bananas, and then go.
You know, for me, I had a very scary moment last week. I was fishing, all of a sudden a banana peel become floating beside the boat, and
Brad was having withdrawals.
"Where'd that banana come from?" They were like, "Oh, I just ate it." I'm like, "Man, don't you?
No,
You
last
did?
week.
You had a banana last week?
You didn't tell me this, Brad. This is
This
bad.
was this was like last Wednesday or
Oh,
Thursday
I'm
or
so
something.
sorry to
A
hear that.
banana, it come floating by the boat, and
I got you in my
literally
prayers tonight. I've got you in my
it
prayers.
scared me. It was
Oh
thankfully it
man.
wasn't Friday the 13th. You know,
Yeah.
and last Friday I was like, man, if you threw a banana in Friday the 13th, I would have been lucky to be alive today.
Gosh. So you're telling me you just seen it floating on the water. You said, where'd that
Yeah,
come from?
yeah. I mean, it wasn't nobody behind us. I mean, we're by ourselves. The wind was up, so wasn't a
That
lot
is
of people
good
fishing.
stuff.
So
Oh
just there was
man.
a banana peel floating by the man. I was like, man,
I'd have had a boat somewhere else. That's how mad I'm at him.
I went back and cut on the bilge pump, make sure everything was still good.
Yeah,
So,
you would have died. Your life scope start glitching out and
yeah, I've
everything
been
start.
like, what in the
We
world?
gotta leave, boys. We gotta leave. That's so
Very
funny.
scary moment for me.
Yep.
Um, Warren said, I got a couple more reports in there. Warren says, regarding pollen, the second best color to use is moss and black emerald. Move your color game from 60 to 70. I personally like black emerald. Like it.
Little tidbit. He's one of the Grand Lake fishermen around here. Always trying to take my fish from me.
Scott, he said, what happened to the Crappie Connection theme song? Love that song. It's on iTunes, guys. It is called Oxbow, and it's by my son Hunter Chappell. And I might have to twist his arm, but I wanted to redo it this year. His voice has kind of matured like everybody's, so he needs to redo that song. But I absolutely love that song too myself. And he wrote that when he was about 13 years old, 14.
Wow, really? That's crazy.
Yep. Uh, Danny says, when fishing the bank for aggressive spawnfish, what profile and size, color bright or natural colors? Fishing for aggressive spawnfish, the bigger the baits, the better. First
Yeah.
one comes to my mind is going to be the full size slab hunter.
Yeah.
Oranges, you just gonna have to cycle through colors until you can say, all right, I'm digging this color out the back of this fish's throat. That's what they want. And
It
that's
all
how I
depends
feel
on
like to me.
water clarity too. Water clarity is a big deal when you're getting on spawning fish like that. But big baits are fun. I love the slab slayers under a bobber. That's one of my favorites. A big slab
Hmm.
slayer under a bobber, and Cajun cricket is a good all around spawning color. I don't know what it is about that color, but you can usually put that on. Or bluegrass. Bluegrass is really good. Gosh, you got me excited thinking about some mean spawning fish up on the banks, casting to them and pitching to them. But yeah, that's going to be some fun stuff. I'm ready for that spawning bite. There is no doubt about it.
Scott Oscar, he says, talking about colors, Brad, what do you see as the most consistent color on the res? You know, it kind of depends on time of year.
He's using that mud
Springtime,
dauber a lot, though. Don't let him lie.
mud, that and Grenada Gold,
Mhm.
springtimes is absolutely
Double
dynamic for
silver
me.
rainbow. Double silver rainbow is pretty good too.
Fall and winter was double silver rainbow. Summertime, I'm gonna look at white chartreuse, monkey milk. Double silver rainbow's hot, really hot in the summertime as well. Let's see, come on. Don, he says, Don Deaton, love y'all show. Lots of good information. Going to try the res tomorrow. I will holler if I see you.
There
Don,
you
make sure
go.
you holler if you see me. Wave, do everything you can, and good luck tomorrow, man. They're out there.
Oh yeah. Are you going tomorrow, Brad?
Yes, sir.
You bet.
Busy
You're
week
probably
ahead
going.
of me.
I was gonna say you're probably going the rest of the week. I am pretty busy
Yep,
as well. We'll see. I'm ready for the bite to pick
busy.
up. Like yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Chris Mitchell says, where for a hole S curve getting attention yet? Chris, those areas right there that you named off always get attention. And last week I caught fish in both of those areas as well.
James Salter says, "Good evening. It's about time to get back on the water. Good luck to everyone." You bet, buddy. Appreciate you getting on here, commenting and watching us. Good luck to everyone as well. Back to you for this spring. I mean, everybody looks forward to this time of year. It's very exciting. It's like Christmas all over again. We get a little second Christmas.
Trey said he's going to paint bananas on his boat so people start following him around the lake. Man,
Hey,
that
no
is a
one will follow you
brave
around with
man
bananas
there.
on there. You put
That is
bananas on your boat, you'd be
brave.
fishing alone, which that'd be smart.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I would
smart.
not get near you, Trey.
Oh my
I
god.
would not get near you. Um,
So, Brad, I got a question for you. This is a crazy
mhm,
topic. It's fishing, but have you seen the
mhm.
Bassmasters and all that? The guys using these little, they call them dog toys, but they're a ball with all the
I
thing.
did.
So, all I cannot stop thinking, and you guys heard this first on the live. If we make
Mhm.
a miniature version for that for sniping crappie,
Hmm.
why, first of all, if it's getting bass to bite, bass are very finicky and hard to get to bite. If that's getting bass to bite, is it going to make crappie next level bite like that's on structure or anything? Why don't we come out with a small one with those tentacles like that? Would that not
You
be
just blew
something?
our whole lot. We can be millionaires one day, Dustin.
I know,
You
but I just
released it to
I
the
have to
today's bite.
bring this up, ask your opinion. But man, I'm thinking that could be something wild in the crappie industry that could maybe be next level. We'll see. But I just
You
want to
know,
put it
I've
on here
never tried
first.
it, so I don't know.
So we'll replay
Mhm.
this video one day when we're millionaires off of it and say, I told you,
Yeah,
y'all remember what I'm saying now. I don't know what it
you
is
could
about
be
that bait,
first on that.
but it got me really intrigued thinking, it's making them things really react. Who knows?
Maybe so.
I'm gonna get
Right now,
really in trouble for
guys,
saying this online. Brad's gonna get me.
338 likes between the platforms. We've got a little bit more work to do to get that goal tonight, so please help us out with that, and then I know you guys will. So, also appreciate Bobby Garland Bates for supporting the Crappie Connection through the years, and today's bite for putting up with Dustin
Oh yeah.
and having me to put up with Dustin. That's a
Yes,
lot.
exactly. Everybody having to. I mean, at this
Everybody
point,
having to put
you
up with Dustin.
guys, I
That's a
appreciate
lot.
everybody. Yes, it takes a lot to come on here and just watch, So I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys very much. Bobby
Uh,
Garland Bait.
Another thing, this week's podcast that was just released yesterday, and a lot of you guys that's been following the crappie fishing industry for years. Ron Wong, which was a famous photographer for crappie masters and all different tournament trails through the years, he passed away, and this was a heritage fund that Ken Driscoll and a lot of other guys that went out and started. And we kind of talk about stories of Ron Wong, and I've got a couple that I threw out there as well. Uh, Great podcast, especially on some of the history of crappie tournaments. And Ron Wong was one of the guys that was definitely part of our history. Did you know Ron, Dustin?
I didn't, Brad.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't. You're gonna have to fill me in on that.
Yeah, he was the toughest man I ever had in my boat.
Really?
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Just to summarize that until we get a question on here. So if you got a question, we're going to talk about those as well. Make sure you throw them out here. Um, but I was doing a writer's camp for Bobby Garland at Toledo Bend, I'm going to say 9 years ago. And he was doing an article with me about pulling crankbaits. And he actually stepped on a crankbait barefooted in my boat.
Ooh, wee.
And I'm talking about a Bandit 300. He
Dug it
in
deep.
dug it deep in the palm of his foot. And Ron was a small statue, uh, Oriental fella, fun, great cook, everything. But he stepped on it, and I was like, Ron, we got to go to the ER. And he's like, no, we got to get this story. We got to get these photos. And I'm like, man, you've got 2 hooks deep in your foot. We've got to go. And I'm starting to roll them up. And he's like, no, 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 give me some pliers. Give me some pliers. And I'm like,
Oh
dude,
my
that ain't no
goodness.
way. And he grabbed a set of needle nose pliers. And God is my witness. And first time he pulled it, I mean, he's pulling it from his back now, mind you, and he grabs it and pulls it, and it just about yanks, his leg up. And the first time didn't get it. It took about 3 or 4 yanks of him
Oh
pulling it
my
out.
goodness. Oh, well, you couldn't even watch.
And I was like, Ron, I'm telling you, I would have gone to the ER immediately. And we stayed out, and he got everything he needed for a fishing oracle. Like I said, I always told him he was the toughest man in crappie fishing ever.
That is crazy.
So,
That's epic.
a great friend, great person that was in the sport of crappie fishing that made a difference. Kenny's asking on a lighter note. He says, "This time of year, what's the best size baits to use? Whatever they're biting, flat out.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
That's
you're
right.
gonna cycle through baits. Consistently for me, it's going to be the smaller baits. More aggressive the bite, the bigger baits I like,
Yeah. This
especially if
time of
I'm
year, though.
having
This time of
somebody
year.
jar to hit.
Yeah. Yeah. This time of year going into April, I'm going to be using
Mhm.
full size, the 3-inch slab slayers, you name it. If they'll hit a big bait, I'm dropping a big bait for sure. I'm going to get away with the biggest bait I can. And usually this time of year, they're going to knock a big bait sideways.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm ready to use these full size slab hunters. And for me, I like really use them if I have people that, you know, are waiting on the fill a lot. And uh, the
Yeah.
downside of smaller baits is a lot of times you're not going to feel the bite. And you look at the size difference between these two baits.
Yeah.
Whenever they hit this
Yeah.
bait, they're going to try to knock the fire out. When they hit this bait, they're just trying to suck it in.
Yeah.
So I like using a bigger bait because you can't hardly hold on to the pole sometimes.
Exactly. Mike
Oh,
Yates is on here. He said someone is taking me crappie fishing Friday. Mike, you bet you, buddy. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully that fishing picks up and we can go put the whooping on him. I'll be keeping an eye on it starting tomorrow. I'll be out there, so I'll holler at you.
mm-hmm. Freddie says, I tried catching suspended fish on the transducer on a pole. Man, that is tough fishing. That is tough fishing on suspended.
Yeah, yeah. You're about the 100th person I've heard say that. Some people are cut out for it and can make it happen. They have different transducers, the way they can turn them. But as far as just doing the side pole mount and digging with it, it's a different ball game. You can do it, but you can't do it near as fluent as normally on the trolling motor head. 9 times out of 10.
Corey said, he said, "What's your top 5 jig head colors?"
Gosh,
Um,
that's a lot.
can
That's
you
a lot
guess
of color.
mine?
Let's do three because
We'll do
five
three.
you're covering about all of them. But I bet I don't use more than three a lot of times. I love just an original lead head. That's going to be probably one of my top ones. White has been really well for me, and then I'm stuck between pink and chartreuse. But
Mm.
those three are some I like. Orange is good too, but pink and chartreuse is good for me. I know orange is going to be one of Brad's for sure. He may use orange all
Yeah,
spring. Who knows? Is that what you're going to
yeah,
use? Probably all spring orange.
probably
Yeah,
all
yeah.
spring.
I don't blame you.
Orange is by far my favorite jig head color. It just kind of goes with everything. You put a white jig on, it looks great. You put a
Yeah, yeah.
chartreuse jig on, it looks great. You put a black jig
Mm.
on, it looks great. And it may be just all me. Then it would be chartreuse, orange chartreuse, and then lead or white would be there. So maybe four for me.
Mhm.
Uh, Pamela says, "How do you find fish on the banks?" One is by covering the water, just like you would a body of water. You've got to cover water and eliminate things, and start at the deeper section of your pond. And this time of year, I would start really looking towards those shallows. So start out deep, work your way shallow. Maybe in April, I would probably start shallow and actually start working back towards the
Yeah,
deep. So it kind of depends on the
sure.
month. Um, so right now, work deep, move shallow, and then do the opposite if it's on up in April or May.
I agree.
Unknown caller. There's an unknown caller. Somebody probably want to go fishing. I
That's
think I got a few more days left in April, so if or May, if you want to come crappie fishing with me, give me a call, just like this person from Springfield's doing. Going to be
Springfield,
a
that's
great
closer to
spring,
me
man.
than it is you, Brad. Send me that number. What are they thinking?
Sorry.
What are they thinking? You stealing my clientele out here? Oh my goodness. My
uh,
goodness.
we had 360 likes, so we hit our goal tonight. Special thanks for everybody that does that. It means a lot to us. And I get this question asked a lot. What if we're watching the program later or watching an old podcast? Hey, those comments still show up. They still count for us. So make sure if you're watching a podcast that I did 5 years ago, go ahead and like, put a comment on there. It all
Exactly.
matters. It all helps us out more than you think. We're
And it'll pop up
closing
where
in
you
right
can
at
go.
17,000 followers on
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook. We're a little bit over 59,000. So with your help, I'd love to hit 60,000 on Facebook this month. I think it's
He's
very
greedy.
possible.
He's greedy, guys. We're sorry. He's
Very possible. You got to have goals in life, Dustin.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Got to have
And one
goals.
of them for you should be eating morel mushrooms, buddy.
That is on my hit list, though. That is definitely on my hit list.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to tell me how good they were.
I cannot wait.
No doubt.
Uh, get you some minutes on the cork. I'm sure he's talking to Pamela as
Yeah, how
far
you
as the.
I'm fishing on the banks. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, a minnow and a cork is a
Huh.
deadly combination for fishing the banks for sure.
All up Pena, it says, I got the patent starting on the crappie ball. LOL. You let the cat out of the
There you
bag,
go.
Dustin.
Hey, little do they know they're gonna go use the patent and it's already taken.
He lie.
Hey, you know what? Oh my gosh, I've already got the name for it, Brad, but we'll talk about that after this. We'll see you all
Yeah.
next Tuesday, 7 o'clock.
We're almost there.
I appreciate you
Got
guys.
another new podcast coming out next Monday on YouTube. It then goes to Spotify on all those platforms. So if you're watching, let us know. Got questions, guys? That's what we're here for. Uh, Suggestions about the show, whatever. Crappie Connection at Gmail's my Gmail account. Send us some emails if you got them. If you want to go to Oklahoma and you can't get a hold of me, the Fish Mississippi, call Dustin up. I'm sure he'll take you.
That's
But
right. Yep. I mean, yeah, if you
he's
guys
he's a
want
good
sloppy
second best.
seconds, here I am, boys. That's
Uh,
right. John Breland, holler, he said.
That's right, John. Shockwave, he said, what type of boat do you prefer to fish reservoirs? Walleye or Rangers? Well, I've got my Ranger's a walleye style
I
boat,
was gonna
so
say you've got both, but yeah, well, you need a walleye. Mark my word when I tell you need a boat that can take big water on the res. That's
yep,
just end of story. I've been there, done that. That res will chew you up and spit you out if you ain't got a big enough boat.
yeah, it still does some. Uh, Fred Kennedy said, speaking of podcasts, I watched the mistakes made crappie fishing. He said, very informative. Brad, it was with you with three other guys. Yeah, that was a great podcast. Going to do some more like that as well. Okay. Kenny, thank you for joining us. Like Dustin said, it's 8 o'clock, guys. We'll be back next Tuesday night, Central Standard Time of 7 p.m. Mike, we need to know where you're
hopefully with
from, and we'll
some
contact you
good
and give me a call.
hopefully some good fishing reports too.
Okay, okay. Till next week, guys. Holler, be safe out there, and
Yep.
we got to hear some crappie reports next week. Good
Oh
luck
yeah.
out there. This time to go get them.
Stay safe.
Great weather ahead.
See
Stay
you
safe.
guys.